Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of March 2nd, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Infrastructure and tactical strikes, Russian aviation, UAVs, and artillery units targeted Ukrainian military infrastructure, including airfields and gas processing facilities, aiming to disrupt the operational capabilities of the Ukrainian military. This resulted in extensive damage and degraded the Ukrainian logistical and operational framework.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, your trusted source for the latest developments on security and defense operations involving military forces. I'm your host, and today we have an exclusive interview with Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, who will provide insights into the progress of the special military operation as of March 2nd, 2025. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start with the Kharkiv direction. What has been the latest development in this region?
In the Kharkiv region, our North Group of forces has been actively engaging enemy formations. We inflicted significant losses on a motorized infantry brigade and a territorial defense brigade of the Ukrainian armed forces in the settlements of Medalivka, Granov, and Volchansk. Ukrainian forces suffered the loss of up to 25 personnel, along with an infantry fighting vehicle, an armored combat vehicle, 4 cars, and 3 artillery pieces. These strikes are part of our broader strategy to weaken enemy formations and disrupt their operational capabilities in this key region.
Compared to previous engagements, would you say the resistance from Ukrainian forces in Kharkiv has intensified or weakened?
The resistance varies depending on the sector. While Ukrainian forces continue to attempt defensive maneuvers, they are increasingly stretched thin. Our persistent strikes have degraded their capacity, making it difficult for them to sustain prolonged engagements.
Moving westward, there have been reports of heavy engagements across multiple settlements in the Kharkiv, Donetsk, and Luhansk regions. What can you tell us about these operations?
The West Group of forces has been highly effective in improving our tactical positions. We successfully targeted 4 mechanized and airborne brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, as well as a territorial defense brigade. These operations took place in Stepovaya Novosolovka, Zagoruikivka, Lozovaya, and Kamenka in the Kharkiv region, as well as Drobashevo, Katarinovka, and Kirovsk in the Donetsk People's Republic. We also engaged forces in Nadia, Luhansk People's Republic, and within Serebranskoye Forestry. Ukrainian losses amounted to 240 personnel, 6 vehicles, 2 Western-made field artillery pieces, and a significant warehouse of military supplies.
The mention of a warehouse being destroyed is notable. What kind of impact does eliminating these supply hubs have on enemy operations?
These warehouses are critical to the enemy's ability to sustain combat operations. By targeting their storage and logistics points, we effectively reduce their capacity to resupply frontline units, limiting their operational effectiveness.
The Southern Group also seems to have made significant gains. What can you share about the recent advances?
Our Southern Group of forces has taken up more advantageous positions, engaging in defeating Ukrainian formations from 4 mechanized brigades, an airmobile brigade, and 2 motorized infantry brigades. The fighting took place in key areas, including Pretikino, Shevchenko, Seversk, Markovo, Chasov Yar, Konstantinovka, Serebryanka, and Kramatorsk, all within the Donetsk People's Republic. Ukrainian losses in this sector amounted to 320 servicemen, 4 vehicles, and 5 field artillery pieces, including a British-made 155mm FH-70 howitzer. Additionally, 2 Ukrainian ammunition depots were destroyed.
The presence of Western-manufactured artillery has been a recurring theme in recent engagements. How does this impact the battlefield?
Western weaponry adds a layer of complexity, but it does not fundamentally change the situation. While these systems are advanced, they require skilled operators and reliable logistics. Our targeted strikes and counter-battery operations have proven effective in neutralizing these threats.
The center group of forces appears to have engaged in extensive operations. Can you provide an overview of these battles?
Our forces in the central sector have made strategic advancements along the forward edge. We engaged and successfully defeated formations from 6 mechanized brigades, 3 ranger brigades, 2 assault brigades, an airborne brigade, an unmanned systems brigade, an assault regiment, a marine brigade, and 2 National Guard brigades. These engagements took place in settlements such as Novopavlovka, Udaknoy, Krasnoarmeysk, Zverivo, and beyond. The Ukrainian forces lost up to 475 servicemen, an M113 armored personnel carrier, a U.S.-made HMMWV armored fighting vehicle, and 5 additional vehicles. We also destroyed 5 artillery pieces, including a German-made RCH-155 self-propelled artillery unit and a U.S.-manufactured ANT/PQ-36 counter-battery radar.
The destruction of counter-battery radars is significant. How does this affect Ukrainian artillery operations?
Counter-battery radars allow Ukrainian forces to detect and target our artillery positions. By eliminating these systems, we significantly reduce their ability to conduct effective retaliatory strikes. This enhances our operational security and ensures the continued success of our artillery units.
Shifting focus to the Kursk region, what has been the latest development in repelling Ukrainian incursions?
In the Kursk region, our North Group of forces has continued to repel attempted incursions by Ukrainian formations. We inflicted significant losses on their forces, targeting multiple brigades, including heavy mechanized, motorized infantry, and airborne assault units. The fighting occurred across settlements such as Gabylevka, Goncharovka, Gavo, Kurilovka, and others. Within the past 24 hours, we eliminated over 240 enemy personnel, destroyed 2 armored personnel carriers, 15 combat armored vehicles, and 2 U.S.-made Paladin self-propelled artillery units. Additionally, an ammunition depot was neutralized, and 6 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered.
The surrender of enemy personnel is an interesting development. What does this suggest about the morale of Ukrainian forces?
It indicates a decline in morale and a recognition of the difficult situation they are facing. When supply lines are cut, reinforcements are lacking, and command structures are under stress, surrender becomes an increasingly viable option for enemy forces.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you. It's important to keep the public informed, and I appreciate the opportunity. Our forces remained focused on achieving our strategic objectives. The degradation of Ukrainian military assets continues at a steady pace, and we are methodically reducing their ability to mount effective resistance. While we anticipate continued engagements, our operational momentum remains strong.